BFBS Forces news, join KFOR patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King's Squad, and there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on this ship called the Way of the Warrior Sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
At BFBS Creative, we are creative storytellers. We are specialists in unravelling the untold, even from the most difficult locations. We help you reach the audiences you need to reach. From documentary interviews to addressing communication hurdles and crafting your content strategy, we can do it all. We thrive in the toughest environments, ensuring your stories are told brilliantly.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the RAF Stormshadows channel. I am once again joined by the immeasurably enthusiastic Roman in the commentary box this evening, Roman. And as you can see on your screens there, it is the RAF Stormshadows taking on the Army Esports side. A fascinating insight into what we might come to expect in the inter-services. But for tonight, it's the Armed Forces Dungeon League. Let's get this show started.
Carries this forward, gets 50 with Fraz. Ed gets into that one. NB tucks it away. And as I say, they need an opening goal. They have managed to get one here, 1-0.
Frazic, though, does some nice defensive work. But P finds Cedric. Cedric finds Envy. Beautiful stuff from the RAF Stormshadows. 2-0.
Approximately a minute and a half left to go. Envy goes for a pass to P. P with a shot. P with a goal. Tucked away in the top left corner. 2-1 to the RAF Stormshadows. And they are shining through here after the Army. They've struggled to rotate. They struggled to get into position after kickoff. And P managing to give the RAF Stormshadows that advantage
again.
Didn't
have a lot to work with. Didn't have a lot of the goal to aim at. But he put it in the one place that it was going to go to. And Cedric makes it 3. And the floodgates are beginning to open here for the RAF Stormshadows. A great 30-second burst. And now they've just got to hold it or even go for more.
Air power wins matches in Rocket League, and you can't tell me otherwise. As Ed will tuck down away, and the Stormshadows have the advantage here with 3 minutes left to go. Nothing about air superiority there. P just managing to get a pass across. A very strong 50 indeed, and Ed had an entire net to tuck it away. 1-0 to the Stormshadows, and the Army, they've been crumbling since game 3. To control this one and take it downfield, intercepted immediately by Ed, and this pressure from the Stormshadows has been relentless, and Envy, the man from Cosford, will tip this away to make it 2-0, and almost an improbable comeback for the Army to try and pull off with 90 seconds left to go. The way they've been playing, the RAF Stormshadows, they're currently unstoppable.
The RAF Stormshadows, an incredible goal. They've done it again, and it's 2-0 now, and it's 3-0 now. The lead looking unassailable.
Gives Ed some time here on the sidewall. gets it up. Pia's on the backboard lurking. Is Ed going to get this one away? No, but Envy's going to be there. Envy's going to tuck it away. It's 4-1 to the RAF Stormshadows. Rose-tinted glasses are on, and I don't care. It is game over. The RAF have trampled the army. 4-1, could be 5-1. I don't care what the scoreline is. It's going to be game over with 1:06 left to go.
You're going to have me in the commentary box. I'm going to be hyping the boys the entire time, not just the Stormshadows, the Sentinels and the Shadows as well. As this game comes to a close with almost P tucking away a very nice shot there, just drops at the death. Stormshadows 3, the Army Sparrows 1, and well, the Stormshadows did it in fashion late on.
Hi, I'm AS1T Stelios Elia. In-game, I'm known as SE1997.
Corporal Elliot Greenwood, and in-game I'm known as G-Wood.
My name is AS1 Tech Edward Nussyweight, otherwise known as Cedric in-game.
It's already looking like they've upped the bar from last year, which is a really tough job to even do that. We are looking forward, not just myself, but as a team, to going out on that stage and representing the Royal Air Force as best as we can.
Playing up on a stage like this is the first time. We had a thing called Rank A, where it was all the top players played against each other, and then we picked our teams. I've finally made it into the first team after a lot of hard work.
Both my teammates are really talented. We gel super well. Really looking forward to playing with them on stage and seeing what we can do.
From my end, the leadership were outstanding, no issues at all.
Not just from my own personal line management, but also the Royal Air Force Esports Association backed us very well, I should say, and made sure we had all the support we needed to get here, and they're always a phone call away if we do need them for anything.
Really excited to play Coast Guard. It'll be closer than everyone thinks after playing them. We think we stand a bit of a fighting chance.
The second Air Force team, emphasis on second now. We're a solid team, three really good players who could do some damage for sure.
Although we are in different forces across NATO, we are colleagues, so it's nice to meet them in person and just have a laugh and play against them and hopefully beat them as well.
You ready? AFG, you're washed.
Coast Guard, you ain't as good as you think you are. We're coming for you.
Space Force, stick to mini golf.
We're going to win it.
No, we're not.
We're going to win it. We're going all the way.
I thought it was good until I saw them play. The Americans will never hear the end of it if we end up winning somehow.
Look, I'll shake on it. You know me, I don't drink. I will drink heavily if we win.
That the pressure put down. Stelios with no boost thrown into corner will be wildly out of position. G-Wood needs to put it to the air. Don't go towards net on this one. Instead, Cedric go for the double touch. It's a beautiful finisher. 19 seconds into OT, and the RAF already going to match point.
That's right, boys. Once again, I'm joined alongside none other than Stelios. Stelios, at the very start of that match, you pointed out the fact that the strategy was aggression, was confidence. Do you personally feel like you guys delivered on all fronts?
Yeah, it was a series that we just stuck to the plan and executed it to perfection. I felt really good myself. I felt the other boys also played their part individually, and then we executed the plan as a team together. It was almost perfection, which means we've got to live up to that in the next round as well. So we can't just rest on our laurels. We've got to take it forward.
Well, for you personally, you were the first one to score goals across, I think, 2 or 3 of those matches that we saw there as well. Was that part of the game plan for you to be the force of nature, as it were, in this matchup?
I'm certainly a force of nature, but usually not in front of goal. It's usually Cedric or G-Wood that are bagging the goals when it counts. However, the way we're set up is it doesn't matter who has the chance to score. It could be any one of us. The way we play, we create spaces for anyone to score. And it just so happened that it was me that was in the prime position to put it in the back of the net, and thankfully I did.
Half, but not for too much longer. Sentinels have broken free, although only momentarily. Now into the retreat, Cedric and Asher, not for the first time today, failing to meet the problem at the source.
That's Cedric though.
Good evening everyone, and welcome back to the RAF Stormshadows. It is stream number 2 out of 2 for this week, and it is the RAF Stormshadows, our first team, taking on the French Air Force, our wonderful friends at the French Air Force. It's going to be a good time when we see them shortly in July for this year's AFEI. But for now, we'll get a short, quick, and hopefully easy preview of what that fixture might look like in 3 months' time. Now then, good evening to you in the chat. Nice to see so many friendly faces. Hope you're all doing well, wherever you're watching around the world, whatever you're doing at this moment in time. Hopefully you can just put that down, watch the stream, relax, and enjoy. Chucky, thank you so much for the sub, by the way. I did see that. Very much appreciate that. Against the Royal Air Force tonight, it is the French Air Force, as I've already said, and this time a much improved French Air Force side. Last year at the AFEI, they were very, very tough to beat on stage, I thought, at times. However, this year, having watched them already scrim once or twice against the RAF Tempests, I could see they have indeed improved. Just how much they've improved, well, hopefully we're about to find out against our first team, which should, of course, in theory, be harder than the Tempests. However, we've just seen yesterday that the Tempests have beaten the most informed armed forces side in the UK right now, the British Army Esports Falcons. So, you know, what does that tell you about Military Rocket League? I don't know. Hitman, who is the original manager for the French Air Force, is actually playing tonight. He's subbing in for one of the stronger players that the French Air Force has, who's away tonight and can't fulfill the fixture. And of course, we will re-look to make that fixture, you know, later on down the line with a full-strength French side. And for the RAF Stormshadows, they line up with the team that is set to go to Germany, which is Cedric, who leads the way as captain as always, alongside Envy and alongside P. So, with that said, I think we are going to give the players a signal. I don't really have a prediction. I'm just going to let the play speak for itself, I think. It's certainly going to be an interesting one. You can see the players are beginning to get into the lobby now. We are going to get going. And of course, we actually do have player cams available for us this evening as well, which is nice. And we hopefully will be seeing the wonderful faces of the RAF Stormshadows on your left-hand side as the French Air Force take the lead. Let's quite see what happened. It was a nice shot by NZH. Envy couldn't quite judge that, and he's already saying that there is lag involved. I know the servers have been playing up in the last half an hour, and we'll have to see what kind of effect that has on the RAF Stormshadows. Hitman knocks that one down. Zalu is there. Zalu, a very good player for this French Air Force side. Envy, good save by him, falls back to Zalu, who looks through his right-hand side looking for a teammate. Wasn't to be that time. Envy looks to find P, but Hitman saw it so quickly. Very nicely intercepted. Envy will take his time now. Good clearance. That's a nice shot by Zalu. Can he make the double? P with a nice controlled bit of defensive play. That one will fall towards Zalu again. But last-ditch defending, this time from Envy, to get the ball away. And the pressure at this moment in time is constant from the French Air Force. They have absolutely started the better of the two sides. And NZH, nice pre-flip. Good save by Envy. Boost starved though. 2 out of 3 players for the Royal Air Force Stormshadows boost starved. Hitman with a shot and a pinched save between Cedric and Envy. Zalu. It's a nice bump by Cedric. It will cause potentially an issue for Hitman, but he saves very well. Envy flips inwards. Good shot by P, saved by NZH. Interesting affair so far. French Air Force starting this one off. Definitely the better of the two sides, but the Stormshadows in this last minute certainly getting into it a little bit more. Cedric looking infield. Can he make a play? He can, but Zalu equal to it again. Envy. Centers. Hitman away again. The French looking mightily composed inside their own half. P lets it go. Fakes for Cedric, who does get there and plays a shot on goal. Wasn't to be. Envy's there on the rebound. And as you can see, we have an equalising goal. And I think Cedric has actually disabled his camera because of lag issues. So what I am going to do is I'm going to just remove his text from the... There we go. That should now we should only be able to see the cams of the two players who have their cameras on. That's good to know. P faces up Hitman, defending his own penalty area. Oh, that's nice from Hitman. Envy has to get there, and he does. That was a vital touch. Envy again. And then NZH comes across that time, and Hitman combines with Zalu. This is a very nice looking French side. Envy, great first touch. Bounces kindly. 1 versus 1 with Zalu now. Is equal to it. Hitman plays it down the left-hand side. Chases as well. Looks to center. He able to clear. So Carl is in my opinion, a good caster for a number of reasons. More because he has an analytical brain, right? So whilst I'm just sort of screaming a load of waffle half the time, he provides us with very nice analytical takes because of his obviously his coaching background. He knows so much about the game from a theory perspective that it translates well into what is a lower level of Rocket League that he is normally used to playing, and it actually means that we get some quite valuable insights into what our players are doing that I would never get because I'm just simply screaming the whole time, or as I would say, enjoying the gameplay. NZH again looks to flick that one forward. This time the Stormshadows are looking a bit more established now in this game. They're looking a bit more calmer. Maybe Cedric's not lagging anymore, having disabled his camera. That's a nice double touch from P, followed up by Envy. And a good save again by the French Air Force. It was Zalu that time. And there is a nice flicked effort towards the Stormshadows net. And the French Air Force retake the lead. Looks like there is some kind of server issue going on. But it looks like the players are going to quit and restart. I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to see what happens. He is still going for the play. Alright, I think we are going to head to a quick break. Okay, we are going to head to a quick break whilst we resolve these technical issues, and we'll be back with you in about 5 minutes' time.
BFBS Forces News join KFOR patrols in the north of Kosovo.
We're here to create a safe and secure environment for the people in Kosovo and the people of Kosovo.
Our job, fly and fight from the home base, and we've got to be able to do that in whatever conditions.
This training is mutually beneficial to both sides. For the riflemen themselves, it's about getting that valuable training in the desert.
At the heart of Lympstone Parade Square, the King's Squad, and there could be no more special guest of honour than His Majesty the King.
And whilst I'm not moving the controls at all, I can certainly learn from what I'm seeing as to how a manoeuvre should be flown.
This year, 337 recruits have completed training. That's a first-time pass rate of 99.7%, which is incredibly high.
So we have a philosophy on the ship called the Way of the Warrior Sailor. It argues that in order to create morale, you must love and value everybody.
This beam here came from HMS Indefatigable. The beams from the Armada were eventually integrated into the pub.
BFBS Creative, we are creative storytellers. We are specialists in unravelling the untold, even from the most difficult locations. We help you reach the audiences you need to reach. From documentary interviews to addressing communication hurdles and crafting your content strategy, we can do it all. We thrive in the toughest environments, ensuring your stories are told brilliantly.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the RAF Stormshadows channel. I am once again joined by the immeasurably enthusiastic Roman in the commentary box this evening, Roman. And as you can see on your screens there, it is the RAF Stormshadows taking on the AAE Esport side. A fascinating insight into what we might come to expect. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of a bumpy start. I think Cedric's internet is just having one of those days. But the French are here, they're good, we're good now, and we're going to go and battle it out, as these two sets of players have said in the chat. We're back underway for this best of 7. And by the way, if you have noticed a different logo in the French Air Force badge in the top right, it is because they have just given me their new logo, which, by the way, looks absolutely unreal. How gorgeous does that logo look in that top right-hand side? Certainly gives our Stormshadows one a run for its money, though, of course, I'm a Stormshadows. I guess we could say fanboy. So I'm going to say it's better. But that is a gorgeous AAE Esports logo. Love it. Great design. And apparently they have new jerseys too from last year, which I'm looking forward to seeing at the AFEI. As the Stormshadows do indeed take a 1-0 lead. Another update for you. We have now dropped face cams because it's just one of those days where it's providing more internet issues for our players than it's worth. So we're just going to drop all the face cams this evening as Envy. Oh, and it also looks like the Stormshadows players are opting for a one-syllable matching name alongside P, as that one hits the bar and goes in for a French Air Force equalizer. As I think that's Envy going with N, P going with P, and C going with Cedric. That's going to take a bit of getting used to, but we will get used to it, of course. As the French Air Force get back onto level turns. Envy and NZH kicking us off. Cedric with a nice first touch. Goes up for a flip reset. Gets the reset in that gorgeous looking Ford Mustang. Shout out the Ford Mustang owners. Envy. Can he find the angle? He does! He threads the needle! And that is sensational from the RAF Starlet. Wonderfully worked. You've seen Cash do it. Plays it onto the backboard that was open. Found the angle to convert the far post. And the Stormshadows take another goal advantage. Zalu combines with NSH again. This is a very promising side. And by the way, Hitman is essentially the Stelios of the French Air Force. He is only the manager, and he is playing at a very high level already. But consider as well that the French Air Force are missing one of their more impactful players. I don't quite know his name in-game yet, but they are missing one of their key assets, and they're still playing this good. Well, they're saying that the Stormshadows extend their lead to 3 goals now. As P and Zalu, two players who haven't yet met IRL. P missed the 2024 Allied Forces Esports Invitational, where of course Zalu and Mirika and Efish made their debuts for the French Air Force on such a big stage. We are so looking forward to that event in the next coming months. Envy looks to intercept that from falls as far as P. The Stormshadows looking very confident in their gameplay now. Cedric. Envy flies immediately for it. Hitman again. Simple pass away to his right hand side where NZH was waiting. Zalu, wonderful first touch from Zalu. Zalu, can he go for a bump? He does go for the bump, forces Envy to commit, ends up in a double commit, and Cedric can't recover the car. And Hitman makes it 3-2, and they're back within 1 goal. And they have worked really hard for that one. Zalu just swiping across the front line, sorry, the back line defense of the Royal Air Force Stormshadows. And it resulted in a free shot for Hitman. And by the way, NZH, thank you so much for the follow. Zalu, thank you so much for the follow as well, bro. We hope you are enjoying watching this one back. If you do watch it back later on, if you are watching the VOD, of course, thank you so much for playing with us this evening. And we are very much looking forward to seeing you guys again in Germany. I mean, Hitman has promised the Royal Air Force a barbecue whilst we're out there, so I would definitely love to do that. Envy, up he goes, looks for the open backboard again. Cedric can't quite read. It was a nice attempt, but no luck that time. P, open net, finds the crossbar and in. The Stormshadows double their lead again. Great first touch by P. Chases it down line, beats 2 French Air Force players. For anyone interested, Saka just missed a pen. Come on, Madrid. NZH, oh, he didn't quite get that first setup touch. Forced to Hitman. Hitman with a shot on goal, and it finds the bottom corner. And the French resistance carries on. Lovely pass into Hitman from NZH. And the Hitman with a fantastic shot, and it caused all kinds of problems from Envy, who didn't know it was going into the post and bouncing straight at his car. And the French Air Force reduced the deficit to once more a singular goal. That's a nice first touch from Envy again. P drops it down looking for the most delicate of touch, but it didn't quite fall his way. Cedric, another misread. Wonder if he's shaking the cobwebs after a small break from the game. That's a misplay from Hitman. That's a rare one from him. And the Stormshadows yet again doubling their lead. And that's a wonderful effort, by the way, from Envy. Let's appreciate the sidewall contact made. Really nicely done by Envy. And again, Stormshadows with an all-important 2-goal lead. Can they maintain it? Can they build on it? Or will the French Air Force come back? Envy looks for Cedric, plays across to his captain, who takes a nice soft first touch to beat one man, but couldn't quite land in time to get the boost. And now the French once again have the pressure inside the Royal Air Force Stormshadows half. P will 50 with NZH. That's a nice composed attacking piece of play by NZH. It's a missed shot in the end. It falls to Zalu. Can he find the back of the net? No, he can't. Because Envy there again providing the defensive cover that the Stormshadows so desperately needed in that moment. Zalu, nice first touch. P will be on the backboard though. That's clever play from him. Zalu, nice pass to NZH. Looked for the snipe on Zalu's car in midair, but it didn't quite pay off. That was a close play, and that's even better play from NZH. Can he recover the car to get a shot on goal? No, he can't. No, he can't. Desperately unlucky. But into the final 20 seconds of game number 1. A bit of a false start in that first game, or attempted first game, where servers meant it was a bit of lag for the Stormshadows. But they've recovered their gameplay, they've recovered their cars, they've recovered their mindsets as they extend to a 3rd goal advantage. And the Stormshadows now surely will take the first game in the series. Of course, best of 7 as always, because we like providing you all with entertaining gameplay. And in this case, it's an international show match. 10 seconds to go. Surely it's Stormshadows' game to lose now. There will not be 3 responses in 5 seconds for the Stormshadows. Though that is a very nice passing play by NZH to Hitman, who has backed himself. I think that's his 2nd or 3rd goal this game. Yeah, it is his hat-trick of goals. But the hat-trick from Hitman, not enough to sway the rampant Stormshadows side, who found 6 inside this opening game. So there we have it then. That is game number 1 under our belts. An impressive Stormshadows performance. P, Envy, and Cedric all rocking some kind of SSL titles one way or another. Whether that's some kind of intimidation tactic remains to be seen. But the French Air Force certainly put up a good fight in that first game before we had to remake for technical issues. But they just weren't able to recover themselves for the restart, and the Stormshadows took full advantage of that as we head now into game number 2. Will it be more Stormshadows dominance? Or will it be the start of a French comeback? Hitman challenging P. P with a nice first touch away to his right hand side. Will he done with this or will he double it? He actually goes for the double. That's audacious from that angle. But that is something P is more than capable of and has been doing for years now for the RAF Stormshadows. That is an opening goal again for the French Air Force. It was wonderfully worked from them down that left hand side. Zalu starting off the attack. Nice touch into NZH, who had chased the ball downfield. Plays it infield. Tiny touch to his right hand side for Zalu. Zalu met it well, met it wonderfully, and gives the French Air Force another 1-0 lead. Once again, the French Air Force starting a game very well, very energetically. Envy, though, taking a touch to beat 2. That was wondrous. And now there is a 2 versus 1. Potentially a 3 versus 1 for the Royal Air Force Stormshadows. Cedric couldn't quite make a play happen. P with a nice touch to beat 1 off left-hand side. Can he find a double? He forces a jump off the backboard by NZH, but Envy was unable to capitalise, but he cuts in. The Hitman meets it. This is a good play from the French. They're resisting the Stormshadows' pressure. Cedric finds Envy. Can he find the double? Almost did. SP cuts in front of Cedric there. It's a good cut. It's good communication. And Envy reads the miss. Good play by Envy. He seems to be the most alert player for the Stormshadows at this moment in time. P, nice touch. Finds Envy again. The shot just away to the right hand side. It will be an awkward bounce here for the French Air Force to deal with. That's a wonderful challenge by P. Up goes Cedric. Can he find the shot on goal? No, he can't. It's more good defending from the French Air Force. Envy with a little bit of lag or disconnection. Let's see what happened there. Is he back in play? Nope. Whether he is lagging or not remains to be seen. The 2 versus 3 will have to continue. And he is now back. And we do now continue. Again, you saw Hitman stop there. Good sportsmanship from the French Air Force. And it will result in a shot from P. But Hitman again, who is having a great game for the French Air Force, is there to provide the last defensive touch. Envy now, 1 versus 1 with Zalu. Zalu demoed for his troubles, but gets the demo. Nice touch by Cedric. Can he find the double? He can, but it's just away to the left, not quite on target. It's a nice creative attempt at a play though. And there is Cedric again. Looks to commit NZH. He does so, but NZH wins the 50. P having NZH all over his car there. Had to shake him off and did just that. P. Good first touch. Gets bumped though. It's a wonderful bump by NZH. There's Cedric again, and there he is. I was waiting all night long for the catalyst that may look to awaken Cedric, who I must say looked a little bit off form tonight, if I'm being completely critical. But there it is. That's the Cedric I know. That's the Cedric we all love. And he gets himself a nice double touch to give the Stormshadows on level terms again, with enough time to search for an a goal that puts them in front within the regulation time. Zalu, good centre. Envy was there though with a nice clear, and it will actually go into the empty net. I'm not quite sure what happened there in the French ranks. It was a nice centre from Zalu. Oh, and Hitman and NZH found themselves with 0 boost, and they were scrambling for pads. They were scrambling for the big pill, but unfortunately it didn't come. It didn't fall their way, and the resultant shot from Envy found its way into the back of the net. And the Stormshadows retake the lead after coming back from 1 goal down There goes Zali though, that's a nice flick in field. NZH was right on the tail of Envy, but an intelligent, ridiculously fast clearance from Envy. Means that the Stormshadows lead survives. NZH, nice recovery. I'll tell you what, this is a much improved French side from last year. They are playing really, really well. Envy finds P. P with a nice first touch. Can he 50 with NZH? No, he can't. It was a nice try. But NZH's defending was good. That's an awkward touch by Cedric back towards his own goal. Hitman misses. Zalu and NZH will get there, but Cedric dives in front of the ball. Wonderful save from just in front of his own net. Cedric, can he read this? Can he get a double? P plays the miss. It was well done, but it was well saved by Zalu. The French now having to survive inside the last 40 seconds again. Cedric, good 50. NZH battled with Cedric to try and divert him away from goal, away from danger. And now here comes Hitman. But P with composed defending, and now that should see the Stormshadows up the pitch to run this clock down. 20 seconds on the clock. Envy. Nice play to 50 with Hitman. Hitman steps over the ball. Cedric, good 50. The ball is exactly where the Stormshadows need it. Zalu now, one more chance to find the back of the net, to find an equaliser, to send us to overtime. Can they shoot? Can they score? No, they can't. It's the Stormshadows that take a 2-0 advantage into game number 3 in the series. And a much more hard-fought game for the Stormshadows that time round. The French almost bagging a last-ditch effort on goal. Almost paid off for the French Air Force. They gambled, and it could have easily found its way into the back of the net, but not that time. It was Stormshadows' game to lose in the end, and as you see, it's Stormshadows 2, AAE, aka French Air Force Esports 0. And the RAF now looking to add a third to that. There goes Envy, causing all kinds of havoc in front of that French net. Went for the double, wasn't to be. And the Stormshadows again starting this game off in very good form. There goes Cedric with a shot. Looks to place it behind Hitman. It was an intelligent shot, but Hitman was quick to it. Managed to adjust his car very well and stopped the Stormshadows from taking another early lead. Cedric gets the flip reset. Plays us over 2. It's Envy to follow up the shot there off the crossbar and away from the French Air Force net. It was wonderfully worked from the Stormshadows, who are running the show right now. Zali faked wonderfully by Cedric, who forces the 50 in towards P, looking for his captain Cedric. Wasn't to be that time. More creative play from the Royal Air Force. Can P get there? Knocks it down, searching for Envy. But that play didn't come off. Zalu, nicely done from him. Looks for a centre. Repping that beautiful decal. I'm not quite sure what that is. If anybody knows what decal that is, please let me know. That's a nice pass. Cedric and Envy combining. But the crossbar denies the RAF Stormshadows again, as P looks to lurk upfield and cut rotations and cause the kind of havoc that only P knows how to cause. Zalu intercepts that pass to Envy by Cedric. Pierce, there he goes. Can he square up NZ8? He does just that, but Hitman's there to clear. The French Air Force now looking for an opening goal. They've proven that they can solve the Stormshadows defense puzzle on multiple occasions. That's a nice pinch. The power of friendship truly on show there for the Stormshadows. But P with a nice touch sets himself up. P beats one. Can he make the demo? No, he cannot. And now Cedric has to make a key decision here. Does just that and saves what would have been a certain goal had it not been for his touch. P again knocks it down to his left. Cedric forces a miss. Zalu with a good control. Envy with a nice interception. Hitman and P doing battle there. P comes out on top, places it into the empty net, and the Stormshadows take another 1-0 advantage as we head into the second half of game number 3. Remember, a win here puts the Stormshadows with 4 match points to play with. Envy. What can the French do? They've shown that they can play really high up into the Stormshadows third and provide them with constant pressure on that net. There's a good example of that. It was Hitman with a good read. And the French Air Force equalised, courtesy of a wonderful diverted effort from the halfway line by manager Hitman, who turns into striker Hitman this time round. Wonderfully taken effort from Hitman. And the French Air Force find their way back into it again. Zalu, good kickoff, fast kickoff from the French. Envy though. Looks for one flip reset, finds Cedric. Can he get the double? No, he can't. P will be there though, just to find the ball, divert the ball into the back of the net. But NZH with a superb save, and he leads the French Air Force up the pitch again. He beats two. But good defending from Cedric. Sees the Stormshadows through that particular piece of danger. Cedric, shot on goal, finds it. P, who skimmed the ball. Goal bound, but another superb save by NZH. Shows that the year of hard work the French Air Force has put into their development has really paid off. That P shot crawls into the back of the net though. It's wonderfully done. It's Stormshadows 2, French Air Force 1. Envy and Hitman kicking us off then. Into the final minute and a half now. Envy, nice first touch. P, Cedric and Envy all in the air. They end up faking it. They end up somehow tricking the French Air Force players into committing for that ball. It's understandable when you see Envy, Cedric and P all on the ball that they had to go for it. They had to do something. It paid off. It found its way into the back of the net. And it's 3 for the Stormshadows. Approaching final minutes of regulation time here in game number 3. The Stormshadows are in control. Though that brief flash across the face of goal there would suggest otherwise. But P meeting Zalu. Good 50 between the two of them. But it comes out in the favour of Envy, who will take his time here. Looks for a musty. Looks to find Cedric. Cedric combining well with Envy. Zalu was there with a good save for the French Air Force. And then NSH has got limited boost. Zalu also limited boost. They're forcing all kinds of panic here from the French Air Force. But the French Air Force managed to deal with it and come away with some pressure of their own. Cedric with a good first touch. Musties it in towards Pierce. Pierce looking to find Envy. Good combination play here for the Stormshadows as they slowly build up pressure outside of their defensive third. Zalu. Nice shot, and it will cause some issue for Envy, but he deals with it. Hitman leaves it for NZH. Hitman again is there. Can he find the shot on goal? He can. But it ricochets off the post. Final 20 seconds of play. P. His play intercepted by Zalu. Zalu again looking to try and beat Envy to that ball, but Envy was just a little bit too quick. Envy gets the flip reset as well. He flicks it goalwards. It's causing more issues for the French Air Force here, but they managed to survive. And it will be the Stormshadows again, taking game number 3. Another convincing, comfortable win. And if you are an RAF Stormshadows fan, you do fancy their chances of taking a full sweep here in this best of 7. But we can't yet be fools. We can't yet count out the French Air Force because they have shown to be dangerous a lot of the time. And it's just about now game management, series management, and seeing this one through for the Royal Air Force Stormshadows. They got this, no sweat. I certainly hope that is going to be the case for this one. Because the French have shown that they're dangerous, and we know and we can see their improvement. It's a nice touch by Envy. It will free up Hitman for the shot. Drops it onto the post. So unlucky by the French Air Force. It deserved the goal. The wonderful touch by Zalu that found Hitman. Now Zalu again will look to get his team away from danger. That's a wonderful fake by Cedric. 50s with NZH. But the French Air Force managed to clear. Envy and NZH playing a game of chicken. Good 50 by Envy. NZH only as far as Cedric. Drops it over the car of Hitman. And the Stormshadows take another early lead here in game number 1. Zalu and Pierce kicking us off. Good follow by a Hitman. It will allow NZH to advance up the pitch. Zalu looks in field. NZH is there again. Cedric. Good clearance and a good bump by Envy to follow that one up as well. P now takes control of the possession. What can he do? Finds the flip reset, goes underneath one of the French Air Force players there. Envy commits 2 French Air Force players, but they manage to find a way out of defense. Cedric looks towards Envy. Envy, another awkward ball that the French have to deal with, and they manage to do just that, courtesy of more great NZH defending. Hitman. Nice little musty play there from Envy to get the ball up the pitch for the Stormshadows. P finds Cedric. Cedric with a shot at goal, and Hitman again with a really, really nice save. Envy didn't get the reset. It will be a shot at goal. Can P deal with it? And he does at the death. A couple more milliseconds there, and P's only choice would have been to divert the ball away into the back of his own net. But his rotation was good. His positioning was excellent. And the Stormshadows, 1-0 slender lead, survive. Zalu looks to find NZH. That one just a little bit too high this time. Cedric, 50'd by Hitman, and NZH will scamper across to the left-hand side to try and find something on goal for the French Air Force. They're pushing for an equaliser. They have the emphasis here inside that Stormshadows area. It was Zalu looking dangerous, but they couldn't quite find a proper shot on net. Now we are just above, just underneath the halfway point of what could be the last game of the action this evening. Zalu letting that one go. The shot by Hitman was good, but Cedric was there, who has really, really woken up as the series has gone on and is having a very strong finish now, is Cedric, the captain of the Royal Air Force Stormshadows. But that's a good shot that Envy's going to have to deal with. He comes off the backboard. Good flick, but Zalu met it wonderfully, it must be said. That was a nice interception attempt by Zalu. Cedric has to get there. Envy, a bit of a double commit. It will present the chance for Zalu, but what a touch by Cedric. What a moment in front of his own net. And that's a nice touch by Envy. Can P chase that one down? He will find Cedric, and it will be in the back of the net. P with a beautiful effort on goal. Sorry, P with a beautiful pinch across the goal, followed with the pre-assist by Envy as well. Pinched across. Cedric meets the ball wonderfully in the central of the penalty area. And the Stormshadows double the lead and now are in an unassailable position, you would think. But as we know, the Tempests found themselves 4-0 down yesterday in game number 5, where they had 3 match points against them, courtesy of the British Army Falcons. And we know how that one turned out. P drops it down. Zalu comes across. Can Zalu and the French Air Force inspire one last attempt at a comeback? That's a double commit though. Cedric will half flip away and position his car with a nice recovery. Good 50 as well, but Hitman wins at that time. The French Air Force still coming strong. Can they find a goal? Can they find a route back into this one? They can. Zalu that time with an excellent play, an excellent follow. Bumps on Cedric, forces the play off the car of Cedric that he bumped earlier on. And they do have a route back into this one. One minute on the clock now. All that separates the RAF Stormshadows from a clean sweep here of the French Air Force, who have played very, very well, it must be said. They have shown a drastic improvement from last year's performance and scrims at the Allied Forces Esports Invitational. And they'll be looking to go there this year and make a great impression for themselves. And they're certainly showing their quality here. And remember, this is still without their one of their best players, who we are yet to see on the RAF Stormshadows channel. I'm sure we will organise a rematch. I'm sure the French Air Force will want a rematch with their full-strength squad. And seemingly, it wasn't enough tonight to challenge the RAF Stormshadows unless Envy can go for a ridiculous psycho. He lands it, and will it find its way into the back of the net? It was getting there, but NZH managed to scamper back in time. That would have been one of the goals of all time here in the RAF Stormshadows. I don't think we've seen an actual psycho like that scored by anybody But hold the phone. There is one more dramatic twist of the tail here from the Stormshadows. They've conceded, courtesy of NZH. The French Air Force right back in this one. They have managed to come back. And we are heading for our first overtime of this evening's series. If, of course, there is no more late drama in these last couple of seconds. Oh, unless there is a goal from Hitman. No. P saves. Zalu meets it. It will drop from Zalu again. He will find the centre. But the ball does hit the floor. Now we are into overtime. Zalu and P. Kick off one that time by P. And he'll rotate out looking for boost. Envy will challenge NZH. It's a good challenge by Envy. NZH bump. Zalu comes away with the ball. P with a nice interception. Has enough boost to follow up as well. Bit of a double commit there from the French Air Force. This will present a chance for Cedric. Can he get the flip reset? He can. It's off the crossbar. It's down. And it's saved. The French Air Force survive. But they're still kicking on here. Envy with the centre. P goes up. Gets the reset. Looks to link up with Envy. The French Air Force survive yet again. Hitman looks to find Zalu. Zalu, this is promising here for the French Air Force. Nice read, actually. P gets there first. Looking for Cedric. Cedric catches the ball. Tries to find some kind of a fake play over Zalu, but Zalu doesn't buy it. P, nice shot downfield. Hitman has to get there. Oh, it's a misflip by Hitman. It's so unfortunate for the French Air Force, who worked very, very hard to get back into this game. Forced the overtime. But unfortunately, a slight misflip by Hitman sees the RAF Stormshadows sweep the series. An excellent game all round, and credit to the French Air Force, who have very, very clearly improved on their game. And, well, yeah, I mean, that's a nice little preview as to what we might see come July. However, I do want to see this game again, this time with their full strength squad. And I'm sure myself and Hitman can get that one arranged between these two sides. And yeah, another fantastic series to watch. Wait, do you mean that does this mean we are finally better at Rocket League than the French? Well, at least for now in the military scene, yes. But admittedly, this wasn't their strongest out. They were missing one of their stronger players, the French, tonight. So this was just a show match, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them again on the channel soon. But technically, Deathrude, technically, you are not wrong. That is indeed the case. But then, that doesn't leave anything else for us to cover this evening, other than for one final update. The RAF Hurricanes versus Shadows token match tomorrow has been cancelled due to the Hurricanes needing to travel to Enclave LAN. And that is going to be the reason why that's cancelled. That's going to be rescheduled by Captain of the Shadows, Curtis, and the Captain of the Hurricanes, Ben Sully. And as soon as we have a new date for that game, we will let you know. But for now, it's been myself, Stelios. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to the Stormshadows players for their time too. Thank you again to the French players for their time as well. We'll see them soon. I'll see you soon. And guys, have a great night ahead. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nice to see you all. Take care.